Okay, welcome back. It's game number 9 of the Oil and Gas Premier League Season 1 between Cummins Arabia and OiLSERV Riders. Both the teams with 2-2 wins are in the top positions, will be vying to get this third game on the trot. We have umpires Harish and Vinay who are on the third game of the day continuous. Must be having tired legs, Vinay.
No, I feel fine.
You feel fine. Harry has already played a game, so his fourth game on this wicket. And we have the toss coming up. Akhilesh from OiLSERV will do the spin. And Asim, tails is the call. And tails it is. Asim, what would you like to do?
We will bat first.
And how's the side doing? 2 wins. How's the moment? How is the tempo of the side coming up?
I think, yeah, we have won 2 games, and especially the game against Petrofec was very well played by Cummins Arabia. And we know that OiLSERV is one of the strongest team in this tournament. I think we will just play this match as like playing the final.
Any changes in the side today?
Yeah, we have our main strike all-rounder Kishore is not available today. So he has been replaced by Somia.
Okay, Akhilesh, thank you. Akhilesh, what's your take on the side against Cummins Arabia?
Yeah, we would have been also allowed to bat first if we would have been, but okay, so we have to take this away. They are a good team. We know that Cummins also a good team. They did pretty well in the last 2 matches, so we were prepared for that. So yeah, we'll plan for a good outing here with the ball. We know we have a very good bowling attack here, so we'll try to maximize that, and we'll try to reduce the as much as low as possible when they score first.
Any particular score in mind that you want to chase down on this wicket?
No, around 150 should be chaseable. I feel that if it goes beyond 170, 180, then it will be a tough task to chase on. But we'll try to minimize it less than 160. So that should be a good total to chase now.
Anyway, that's the news from the centre. Asim winning the toss and electing to take strike first. Akhilesh and his boys will come down to field in the next few moments. We'll wait for the lights to come up and action to start in the next few moments. We'll see you again. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Game number 9 of the season. The Oil and Gas Premier League sorry, played at the Eagle Sports Club here on the Dubai Al Ain Road. As Akhilesh bowling to Amit Deshpande. First ball dot and followed by a wide. So Cummins Arabia score off the mark with a wide. दिखे ही नहीं
देखो लाइट सही आ रही है बोले लाइट सही करो फिर भाई बोले भाई वो मैंने तो करवा देता हूँ
Amit plays it towards short cover.
नहीं देख रहे
नहीं आ रहा है यार इधर.
रिफ्रेश करने आ जाता है हो गया चालू
Akhilesh, the captain, opening the bowling for his side. Amit Deshpande, the MD of Cummins Arabia. He's taking plays a beautiful handsome stroke over covers. Ball racing towards the cover boundary. So first runs of the bat, courtesy a boundary by Amit. Should give him a word of confidence. Sorry, Manish Dipani, the batsman. Amit Deshpande is a non-strike. Onto the pads, down leg side probably. पूछना पड़ेगा आधे राइट पे दिस वन
चीज
अमित स्ट्राइक पे है इजीली पता पड़ता है कम ऑन यार now the full-blooded drive towards mid-off takes off for a single. वाइड था
वाइड बॉल और साथ में सिंगल ली थी
सुबह 4 रन आए
तो मतलब अमित ने फेस किया इन्होंने अभी अमित को
वही ना
ओवर खत्म होगा तो ये स्पीड करेंगे
गलत है यार ऐसे थोड़ी होता है onto the pads, played it towards fine leg. Tanush Sharma giving the chase, 2 runs added to the total. Score moves on to 8.
वजीर आजम साहब
Jatin left arm over the wicket, bowling to Amit. Onto the pads. And he's been given LBW. So the first wicket down, Amit Deshpande out, LBW. lad facing Jatin. Jermaine Fernandez taking strike. Jatin striking off the first ball he bowled. Amit playing slightly across the line and paying the price. Losing his being LBW. Jermaine this time plays it to a short mid wicket. So game number 3 of the day being played under the lights in more cooler conditions. The breeze hitting across the ground from our left to right. Tight call going in the favor of the bowler as Jatin into bowl to Jermaine. Much fuller length. Jermaine playing it down to mid off. No run there. Looks to be in good touch after the man of the match he got in the previous game. Trying to play the ball on merit and wanting to make sure that they don't lose too many wickets in the power play. They already lost Amit Deshpande. Manish was partnering with him. Another beautiful drive. Again, no run. So Jatin's already settled into a good line. He's varying the lines. A couple of them were from mid-lane leg. This time switching a little bit more into the stumps towards the middle and off. Shaping the ball away. 4 balls bowled in the over. No runs given. A wicket taken. As Jatin into bowl the 5th ball. This time on the outer half of the bat towards point. Bala Sahib, the fielder there, quite alert. So both these teams quite known to each other in terms of personnel. So it could be a few small little duels between the duel. As we say, a smaller battle within the bigger battle to gain those bragging rights. As Jatin comes into bowl, last ball again on the length, right on the money. So ends the over with a wicket maiden. A good start to OiLSERV riders. They've given away 8 runs, taken the wicket of Amit Deshpande, kept the batsman quiet apart from the boundary that Akhilesh had given. So 2 overs, 8 for the loss of 1 wicket. Yeah. A little while earlier before the game, Manish had a word with Amit asking him to play straight and not to get wrapped onto the pads. And this is what happened, and unfortunately Amit lost his wicket. So 8 for 1 as Akhilesh comes back to bowl his second over. He's bowling a second over on the trot. He brings the man in slip and play. The man is shot fine, man at shot mid-wicket, mid-on, mid-off, covers, point and gully. These are the men inside the ring. The 2 men outside are a third man. And the man at long on. Manish plays 1 towards point and no run there. Score remains on 8. He's batting on 2. Again, in a half of the bat, short mid wicket, quick single, chance of a run out, direct hit, and Manish could have been gone. Needs to be a clear call, even if it's an easy run or a tight run. The call should be clear, and both the batsmen should take off and cover grounds. Else, could be another casualty, which is something which Cummins Arabia would not want. Jermaine taking strike is on yet to over the back. Beautiful ball. These conditions suiting the seamers. Ball nipping off the wicket. As you can see, a much fuller length by Akhilesh. Relying on his experience as he bowls in. And again, German now getting a bit itchy out there. He's already faced 6 balls with no run, to his credit. Needs to understand the conditions and the situation. The ball's not going to nip out for another over or so, and then the conditions become quite easy to bat on. Just need to play yourself in. Again, towards short cover, no run there. Score remains on 9. As we see a switch from man at short fine coming towards slip. The man at square leg coming towards short fine. So, Akhilesh has a predominant. Again, a slightly lower ball and hitting the keeper on his legs. Oh, Akhilesh is okay. He looks to be okay. End of the 3rd over. Score 9 for the loss of no wicket. Just 1 run coming off that over. So Akhilesh has given away 9 runs of the 2 overs that he's bowled. Good comeback over after that 8-run over. Just given away a single. Just has to make sure his wicket-keeper is okay and not in any sort of pain, because he has no backup whatsoever. As I've heard, there are only 11 men who have reached the park today. The last thing that OiLSERV need is any kind of a casualty. Jatin, after that wicket maiden, comes in to bowl his 2nd over. He's bowling to Manish for the first time. Full-blooded drive towards mid-off. A misfield there allows a single. Jatin to Jamin. Onto the pads. He plays it to a short mid-wicket and takes off for a single and completes it. Score moves on to 10 for the loss of 1 wicket. Slowish delivery, and Manish sends it towards deep mid-wicket for a boundary. So Jatin trying to outfox the batsman. Manish up to the task. Waits for that one and just plays it over mid-wicket. They're in the power play, so hardly any protection outside. 3-4 bounces and the ball into the grass banks. Score moves on to 14. Right change in the field. The men now coming from the edge of the circle. As we see the side screen going up. Jatin to Manish. Now good length spot and plays it towards point. No run there. Score remains on 14 for the loss of 1 wicket. Manish scoring his first boundary of the evening. 2 boundaries in the inning so far. So 15 rather. Manish batting 8 of 7 with 1 boundary. Jermaine batting 1 of 10. Jatin 1.4 overs, 1 made in 6 runs and 1 wicket. Akhilesh 2 overs, 9 runs with no wicket. Down the leg side, keeper misses that. The man had shot at third man, running around and saving the boundary. So 2 wides. The first extra was from Jatin. Score moves on to 17. Current run rate of 4.64. Much cooler conditions here. As Jermaine plays this back to the bowler. So last ball of the 4th over coming up. Jermaine on strike. Again, still not able to get his timing right here. Jermaine is batting 1 of 12 balls. Score 17 for the loss of 1 wicket, 4 overs completed. Current run rate of 4.25 will only get them to 85. Cummins Arabia will need much more than that. Edge and the ball races towards the boundary. So now Jermaine trying to get a hold of things. He was batting 1 of 12. He moves on to 5 of 13 now. Score moves on to 22. One more run to the total. Score moves on to 23. Manish Dipani batting 9 of 9. And Jamin Fernandez 6 of 14. Akhilesh bowling his third over of the spell. Chance of a caught behind. Probably, but no edge there. As we look at the points table so far, also top of the table with 4 points, current run rate of the net run rate of 2.475. As Manish goes for a full-blooded shot and waiting to see if it clears the ropes. With one bounce, so 4 runs added. So look at the points table. OiLSERV 4 points from the 2 games at net run rate of 2.475. Cummins Arabia 2 games played, 2 wins, 4 points, current net run rate of 1.725. Petrofac, after winning the second game, are on 4 points, but they played 3 games and their net run rate is 0.883. Super Tech 3 games played, 1 win and 2 losses, 2 points, net run rate of 0.603. DNO Dynamo is getting their campaign off to a start today with 2 points against JSS. They are 3 games, 1 win, 2 losses with a net run rate of minus 1.241. JSS 3 games played, 3 losses and a net run rate of minus 3.56. So not much to differentiate between the teams out here as we are playing the 9th match of the tournament. It's at the end of 6 overs, 27 for 1. Manish Dipani scoring 13 of 11. He scored a boundary of the last ball, and so end of power play. Rather, we're coming to the last over of power play. 27 for 1. Jermaine scores a single. Score moves on to 28. We have a look at the leaderboards as we speak. Top run scorer Jikesh Pulukol is leading the charts with 139 from the 3 games. Prabhat Saxena 123. Ansar at number 3 at 121. Jatin not far behind. He is 4th position with 91. Jeevan on number 5 at 79. As we look at the bowlers, Jeevan Gangadharan coming to the top of the charts with that 5er today. He's got 6 wickets from 3 games. Jatin is on 5, including the wicket he took today, so he's not far behind. And a wide being called. Ansar Abbasi has 4 wickets from the two over games that he's played. Prabhat Saxena also with 4 wickets. Aniket Singh with 4 wickets from OiLSERV. Bruno on 4 wickets for the Super Tech. Jikesh from Petrofac is at 4 wickets. Shov Raj also having 4 wickets for Super Tech. So these are the guys who are on top. So MVP Prabhat Saxena leading with 23.67. As we see, Jermaine Fernandez plays it towards cover. Misfield there, allowing the single. Ansar Ahmed is on 19.83. Jikesh 19.60. As we look at the fielders, again, Prabhat Saxena is there on the top with 4 dismissals, 1 catch and 3 runouts. Jeevan Gangadharan with 3 catches. So the same names are more or less on top. So this is going to be quite an exciting contest, apart from the matches that we are seeing. As Manish plays this down towards mid-on, the man doing the misfield there. A second run, chance of a run out, not to be. Balasaheb Patil coming in to bowl the 6th over. Jatin being given a break. Score moves on to 32. 1 at 5.3. Jermaine batting 9 of 16. Manish Dipani batting 14 of 12. Both these batsmen now trying to stitch together a partnership. They have 24 of the 26 balls. And Jermaine plays this high in the night sky. The man at mid-wicket coming in and drops it. So Jermaine trying to maximize, like Lucky for him, that was a drop, so he still survives. Score moves on to 33. He's batting 10 or 17 with one boundary. Onto the pads. Just a faint tickle is good enough. And the ball races towards the fine leg boundary. Tanuj Sharma not able to stop that. So 37 for 1 after 5.5. 10 runs coming off the 5 balls. That's the last ball of the power play coming up. So run rate quickly jumping to above 6 now. Cummins Arabia will need money more than this to make it a competitive total for OiLSERV to chase it down, as Manish plays back, covers, no run there. The OiLSERV fielders quite quick. So the end of power play, 37 for 1. Both the teams would be thinking that they got ahead of the power play. 37 is what Cummins Arabia scored, but lost the wicket of Amit Deshpande. Come to the end of power play. Cooler conditions here, breeze blowing along. See a change in the bowling again. Vineet Deshpande is going to bowl this first over after power play. Chance of asking for a caught behind, not to be. Jermaine Fernandez trying to play the drive. Ball going under the bat. Place the keeper doing well to stay low and collect the ball. It's another one. We need to Jermaine. This time being called a wide. Trying to float this one outside the off stump and take it away. Bowling outside the line, so another wide to the total. Score moves on to 38. Slowing the pace this time. Again, somebody who bowls from a slightly lower trajectory. Not the usual bowlers who bowl with a high arm action. This time getting full use of the width and sends this ball towards the cover boundary. Score moves on to 42. As you see, Vineet comes in. Jermaine just stays back and makes use of the vacant cover region for a boundary. Score moves on to 42. as Vineet bowls another wide, so he's given away 6 runs of his over so far, a boundary and 2 wides. Score moves on to 43. Again, over cover region for another boundary. Again, width on offer. So the wide balls proving costly. Another boundary. So 10 runs coming off this over. One bounce onto the grass bank. So German now getting into the act. He's got his 3rd boundary. So moves on to 47. He's batting 18 of 22. While swing, keeper misses that, and a bye being scored there. So 11 runs off that over. Score moves on to 48. Vineet Deshpande 1 over 10 runs. Bala Sahib 1 over 10 runs. German batting 18 of 23 with 3 boundaries. Manish Deepani batting 18 of 14 with 3 boundaries. As we have a look at the scorecard at the end of 7 overs, Amit Deshpande was the one who took strike. He's 5 of 5, and he got LBW to Jatin. Manish 18 of 14 with 3 boundaries. German 18 of 23 with 3 boundaries. 7 extras, 6 wides, and 1 bye. Current run rate of 6.86. Projected score will be 137. They'll be looking to get more than that. As you see, have a look at the bowling card. Akhilesh Bangre, 3 overs, 19 runs, no wicket. Jatin, the pick of the bowlers, 2 overs, 1 made in 8 runs, 1 wicket. Bala Sahib and Vineet giving away 10 runs of the over that they have bowled so far each. As Bala Sahib to continue his 2nd over. German plays it towards the vacant square leg area. Nobody patrolling the boundary on the leg side, so he collects another boundary. He moves on to 22 of 24. So after that initial phase where German was trying to free his arms, he's managed to score 4 boundaries in the last few balls that he's faced. He's quickly bringing up the 50 for the team, 52 for 1 in 7.1. So momentum changing in the last 3 overs, 2 overs or so, for 24 runs coming off that 2.1 overs, 25 rather, including the bye, as he bowls another wide. Aplesh doing well to stop the ball from going towards a wide, so another extra to the total score, moves on to 54. Pakka chokka tha. Just made sure that the ball doesn't come towards the comp box. So these pictures brought to you live by ASL Live. Enjoy the moments as German plays this towards covers. Misfield there, allows the single and chance of an extra run, and it does. So OiLSERV all of a sudden now slightly wilting under pressure. Score moves on to 55. Bala Sahib to German this time plays it towards long on for a single. Score moves on to 56. Score moves on to 56 for 1. German on strike. Beautiful stroke towards the point boundary. Ball racing away, and another boundary to the total. Score moves on to 60. Manish this time, he moves on to 22 or 15. So the 50-run partnership between these two, 52 of 39. after the early loss of Amit Deshpande's wicket. Cummins Arabia without the services of Kishore today. As Bala Sahib this time outside the off stump being called a wide. Score moves on to 61 of 7.4 overs. As this one onto the pads, playing it towards fine leg. Nobody out there. The ball going towards the boundary. Just stopping it in. 3 runs added to the total. Three runs added to the totals. Score moves on to 64. As Jermaine Fernandez on strike, onto the pads, plays it towards long on for a single. At the end of 8 overs, 65 for 1. Come on, आजा जल्दी यार before चाय तो छोड़ के आ जाओ. As we have Walid from Cummins Arabia joining us. Walid, this incident where are you going to appeal against the 12th fielder being brought in by OiLSERV?
Yeah, I actually made a lot of noise out there, but my senior management said you need to keep a lid on it.
So, are you going to have a talk with the match referee after the game?
Yeah, definitely we're going to have a word with them.
And is it going to be Soumya going to join in that conversation, or is it going to be you versus, and the match referee one-on-one?
I think I'll take it one-on-one.
Soumya, your views on that?
Sorry, I couldn't catch the last.
Yeah, so we had a 12th man coming in for OiLSERV. Are you guys going to protest against that by any chance?
Are we supposed to protest? There are 12 guys who are supposed to play, though.
So there lies your question, Walid. You are on your own against the match referee, and your team is not going to support you. As you said, your senior management was not going to support you. My suggestion is you can keep it low and leave it to that incident. As we come back, live action, and there's a lot of fun and frolic here. This is a family event. We have families and friends coming. Soumya, your views on the turnout of the people and the extras and the supporters coming in for the teams?
I think we can have. Right now it is all good. I think so far so good as I can say. But I think we can have much more better than this. We can have a lot more turnaround. So we will have to produce some good results so that people will flock in next time.
Anyway, thank you for your comments, guys. Cummins Arabia now having a hold on the situation after the initial strangled by the OiLSERV. Jermaine Fernandez now in full flow. And Manish Dipani, as usual, on himself. Walid, what sort of a score are you guys expecting to score tonight?
I think a score of 160 plus is going to be really good because there's a slight wind which is blowing, and we saw with the new ball it started moving, and we were in trouble early on. We were struggling to find runs. So I think 160 plus, and with the sort of bowling attack that we have, I think we'll be able to manage to pull this one off.
Anyway, thank you for your time as we come back to live action as Manish and Jermaine stitching up a good partnership. They've already crossed the 60-run partnership and taking the OiLSERV bowling apart at the moment. Vineet into bowl to reverse sweep, trying the reverse sweep. Lucky for him, no ace. The keeper just collecting the ball. So we come towards the end of another over. At the end of 9 overs, 69 for the loss of 1 wicket. Current run rate of 7.67. Projected score can go up to 153. Manish Dipani batting 25 of 19. Jermaine Fernandez batting 28 of 30. Both the batsmen scoring 4 boundaries. Each current partnership of 61 of 47. They lost the wicket of Amit Deshpande at the score of 8. And since then, both these batsmen have come together and tried to stabilize the innings, trying to give some momentum to the innings as well. So we have a look at the bowling card so far. Bala Sahib going for 27 runs in the 2 overs that he's bowled. He's given away 10 and 17 respectively in the 2 overs. Vineet Deshpande this time keeping a lid on the proceedings. He's given away 3 runs of the second over he bowled. His analysis 2 overs, 13 runs for the loss of no wicket. As we see a bowling change coming up. It's Amal Leelama, who's going to be the new bowler. He's the 5th bowler being used. All the bowlers bowling 4 overs, 2 overs each of the allotted 4 overs. Jermaine now has got single, brings up the score to 70. Jermaine now batting 29 of 31. Manish batting 25 of 19. Amal to Manish. Bowls a wide, score moves on to 71. Had a brief chat with Waleed and Soumya from Cummins Arabia. Soumya just saying that results are going to bring a few more supporters in the remaining games and the knockouts. As another wide being bowled, score moves on to 72. The ball's moving around a bit in these conditions. Even if after it loses its shine, it's up to the bowlers as to keep control. This time Manish takes it from the outside the off stump and plays it towards long on. Plays it at a more cross batted shot rather than playing it straight. Score moves on to 73. Bowls another wide, so Amal bowling the 3rd wide of the over. Score moves on to 74. 71, 9.2 over 74 for 1. This time a much better ball. Jermaine letting it go. Doesn't want to poke on the one that's bowled on outside the off stump and just moving a shade away. Although there's no slip, but still a risk of being caught behind. So good. This one's beautiful ball. Yorker length. Dug out. So good comeback by Amal. 2 dot balls on the trot after the 3 wides he's bowled in the over so far. Would want to complete it on a good note. 74 for 1. As Jermaine plays this high in the air over the man at long on for a boundary. The man at long on coming a few paces in, misjudging this one. Let's have a look. It goes up in the sky and one bounce into the fence. So he collects his his 5th boundary rather. And another one, this one over the side screen for a 6. As we have a look at the shot, Amal coming in, foolish ball, and he muscled this over, long on, over the side screen. So at the end of 10 overs, 84 for 1. Germain now on 39 of 35 with 5 boundaries, 1-6. Manish Dipani 26 of 20 with 4 boundaries. Partnership of 76 of 53. Current run rate of 8.4 can get them to 168. As we swap ends, 84 for 1. Tanuj Sharma coming into bowl for the first time. He's pulling to both the batsmen who are quite on song at the moment. Manish Dipani on strike. He's batting 26 of 20. Germain now has found his mojo back and will want to continue that. He's quite comfortable batting on this side of the wicket. Needs to look at how he's going to bat as Manish plays this full-blooded drive towards mid-wicket for a single. Score moves on to 85. Tanuj Sharma, the sixth bowler to be used. We need taking a break. Amal being asked to come a bit more finer, more a straightish long off. Jatin at long on, man at mid wicket and cow corner, so quite a bit of protection. Jermaine is not going to stop now. Slightly short, and he sends this soaring over long on. Tanuj Sharma bowling it slightly short, and Jermaine just stands and uses his muscle and sends the ball towards long on for a six. So his second six of the night. It's 91 for 1. 45 of 36. Swan slaps it down towards wide, long off, completes one. Manish Dipani is quite quick on his toes to collect the second run. Score moves on to 93. Jermaine this time goes down on his knee to play towards long on for a single. He moves on to 48. Score moves on to 93. Manish playing it towards mid on for a single. Looping ball, missed that one, single being scored. He moves on to 49. A good bit of bowling by Tanuj Sharma, but not so good fielding, resulting in that single being given. 96 at the end of 11 overs, propelling the score. He's on 49 of 39. Manish Dipani anchoring the innings with 28 of 22. Scored 49 in the previous game against Petrofac and lost his wicket. He wouldn't want to do that as he plays this towards completes a well compiled 50. Score moves on to 97. He's 50 of 40 balls, 5 boundaries, 2 sixes. Was initially struggling. He had scored just 1 run of the first 12 balls. So following 28 balls, he scored 49 as Manish plays this towards long off for another single. Score moves on to 98. 11.2 overs. Beautiful shot towards deep mid wicket for a single. Sameh the fielder. And now Jermaine Fernandez is in full flow. Score moves on to 99. Manish plays it, drills it down the ground for the score to reach 100 in the 12th over, 11.4 to be precise. As Vineet is given away 4 singles of the 4 overs, trying to stem the flow of runs. Jermaine Fernandez is batting on 50. This one again over, long on for another maximum. Score moves on to 106, his third maximum. As you see, Vinny just bowling it outside the off stump, but Jermaine is in that sort of a zone. He's clearing the boundary with complete ease. 11.5 overs, 106 for 1. Let's have a look. Last ball of the 12th over coming up, 106 for 1. He's batting 56 for 1. 56. And another maximum. Score moves on to 112. Score moves on to 112 at the end of 12 overs. He is to 63 of 43.
ये रिप्ले क्यों बार बार आ रहा है? आप दबाओगे तो आएगा तो सही. दबाओगे तो हट जाएगा. एल से रिप्ले का ऊपर लोगो आता है. वही बोल रहे हैं. वही ना. या विकेट डालोगे तो डालोगे तो जाता है, वो डालोगे तो हट जाएगा, वरना हटाना पड़ता है.
112 for 1.
समझ आई?
Last couple of sixes forcing Akhilesh to bring Jatin back. He had probably held him back for the last part of the innings. Vinny Deshpande, 3 overs, 29 runs, 1 wicket. Was bowling quite well up till then. Had given away 4 singles of the first 4 balls, but then a couple of sixes brings the score to 112. Manish Deshpande, Dipani, sorry, batting 30 of 24. He's doing well, but he too decides to get into the act. A bye run conceded. Score moves on to 113. देखता हूँ मैं जिसके साथ भी जा रहा हूँ लेके जाऊँ.
इसके साथ भी जाना है, नहीं तो मैं विनीत को भी बोल दूंगा आगे.
बोल देना
आ गया
उसमें.
तो ठीक है, अगर तुम लोग का जल्दी, क्योंकि वहाँ भी एक हाफ हुआ है.
अच्छा, किधर जा रहे हो? विजन पे हो?
अरे इस पे सेवेंस में.
Sevens में. As Jermaine faces a rare dot ball. 113 for 1. Current run rate now jumping to 9.16.
चालू करो साइड बिजनेस.
Jatin to Jermaine Fernandez. Plays it into his plays it onto his pads. No run, so a couple of dot balls. As OiLSERV need to make sure their shoulders don't drop. As Jermaine is in at the moment is in good touch, but need to make sure they see the back of him as soon as possible, or at least try to unsettle him with a couple of dot balls. As this one again, chance of a catch, should be taken, dropped, and the ball goes through his legs for another boundary. Amal, the fielder, had done well up till the time the ball was in the air, stationed himself properly, through his hands, through his legs for another boundary. So Jermaine Fernandez 6 boundaries and 4 sixes. He is batting 67 of 46. All Jatin can do is look in disbelief at his fielder at long off has dropped that one as he plays this one towards square leg. 1 run added to the total. Score moves on to 118 with the last ball of the 13th over coming up. +9 plus 68. Asking for a name. Batting Jermaine Fernandez has currently got 126 runs to his credit in the tournament, and he comes up to second position, 13 runs behind the top scorer of the tournament, Jikesh, as Manish decides to retire himself out. As Amal comes into bowl. Only time will tell as this decision of deciding to retire Manish Dipani out is going to prove a good decision, as the momentum could have a break. We have seen in the last game when OiLSERV had retired a couple of men, they lost few quick wickets in a hurry, which took away the momentum. Amal into bowl to Jermaine. Eldo's the new man. This one missing the leg stump by a whisker. Amal bowling with a slightly lower trajectory. Again. Score remains on 118. We're into the 14th over of the innings. This one slightly short, coming up high onto the bat. Score moves on to 119. Eldo's the new man. Brushing the legs and missing the keeper. The ball racing towards fine leg. 1 run completed. They come back for the second. We'll wait for the umpire's signal. Was it a bat or off the legs? It's been called a leg by. So 2 runs added. Eldo still remains off on not of the 1 ball he's faced. 121 for 2. Eldos plays it back towards the ball on the good length spot. Not much of room, so happy to play that one back. So plays it towards square leg, completing a single. Eldos wanting the second, but German not ready for that. (122 for 2). German batting 69 of 49. This time towards mid-wicket. 1 run completed easily. Turning back for the second by the time the man at mid-wicket comes in. 2 runs added. He moves on to 71. At the end of 14 overs, 124 for 2. 6 runs coming off that over. Quite economical at this stage, considering the run rate at which Cummins Arabia is scoring. They're scoring at the rate of 8.86. 177 is what they will get in with the current run rate. Tanuj Sharma coming to bowl his second over. He gave away 12 runs of the first over that he bowled. Akhilesh having a word with him. The Eldos on strike. He's 1 of 3. Jermaine Fernandez batting 71 of 50 balls. Tanuj to Eldos. Eldos plays it towards long on. Initially wanting to go for the catch, but deciding against it. Keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 125. Brings German on strike. Jatin asking Tanuj to keep it outside the off stump and invite a false stroke. And chance of a caught and bowled, missed. Hitting him flush onto the hands as we have a brief stop in play. We zoom in, have a look as to what. Thank you. Let's hope if Tanuj is okay. Tanuj Sharma back in action after ball hitting his palm. Jermaine plays it over mid-wicket, chance of a catch, and again another misjudgment. Jermaine survives. There you see, high into the sky, Bala Sahib at mid-wicket, coming a step forward and letting the ball burst through his hands for another maximum. Score moves on to 131 for 2. He's batting 77. Towards mid-on. 1 completed. Wanting the second. This time, German wanted to go. Eldos decides against it. It could have been risky. He's running to the danger end. Tanuj bowling to Eldos. This one playing with the wind over. Long on for another. This time playing it off the back foot towards covers for a single. Score moves on to 139 at the end of 15 overs. He's batting 78 or 53. Plenty of problems on Akhilesh's hand as of now as to whom does he look up to stop rampant German Fernandez at the moment. Who's got the measure of the wicket so far, and he's in full flow at the moment. He's 78 or 53. He update. As Amal comes into bowl. It's 2 overs and 19 runs. German Fernandez having a few reprieves, making the most of it. Eldos at the moment on strike. He's 9 of 6. Wide down leg side. Keeper misses this one. Going towards the fine leg boundary. 2 wides to the total. Score moves on to 141 with 19 extras, 14 wides, 2 leg buys, 3 buys. German on strike now. This one again high up. Amal settling under it, and let's see if he can drops this one. It is moves on to 143. Eldos plays it towards long on. The fielder doing well there to keep it down to a single. Score moves on to 143. Amal facing German. Chance of edge and another one dropped. OiLSERV on an oil slick at the moment. Unable to hold on to their catches. German plays it towards deep mid wicket. 1 run, want to turn back for the second. Eldos quite good, quick enough. He moves on to 81 as the umpire calls it 1 shot. So he's on 80. Over fine leg for another boundary. He moves on to 84 with 7 boundaries, 5 maximums. And now is the top scorer of the tournament. Oh, 1 run shot tha na. Score moves on to 148. This time he is bowled. So finally, it was the bowl that was going to get him out, as none of the OiLSERV fielders managed to hang on to any of the catches that he offered. 148 for 3, as we see Amal coming in this time, slowing the pace slightly just outside the reach. German early into the shot, and he's out for 84 of 58 balls.
Uh, 16 complete.
16 overs completed, 148 for the loss of 3 wickets. Last man out, Amal, he was bowled for 84 of 58 balls. Ayaz Ahmed, the new batsman, another hard-hitting batsman, as Subbu Parli is the new bowler. Eldors plays it over the man at extra cover coming in, and another drop. So 2 runs added, and the 150 comes up in 16.1 overs. Catching becomes difficult in the night when, with these conditions, when the in cooler conditions, Eldors plays it high on the bat towards short cover, chance of a run out. There's a misfield and another 1 run added to the total. Score moves on to 152. Akhilesh doing well to field the ball. Subbu unable to reach the stumps on time. Could have affected a run out, and the bargain gave away an extra run, 152. But this time, Eldors playing all around that and losing his stumps. So another batsman perishing in search of quick runs. 152 for 4. 2 quick wickets could dent the momentum. And coming right into the line of the ball and wanting to play towards mid wicket and losing his stump there. So 152 for 4. As Ahmed still to get off the mark, as Asim Kamar, the captain, coming into face. He's out for 14. Eldo's out for 14 of 10 with 1 maximum. As, so asking for an LBW, probably going down leg side. So another leg by added to the total. Score moves on to 153. Asim Kamar yet to get off the mark. Ayaz Ahmed taking strike for the first time in the game. Subbu giving away 4 runs and taking the wicket of Eldos. A dangerous Eldos who could be quite a bit handy in these last overs. Asking this time, is the umpire going to give that again? Probably again missing leg stump, or could be umpire's call the maximum. Let's have a look. Midland leg, na? Full toss, plays it towards long on for a single. Wanting the second, rightfully sent back. So end of the 17th over, 154 for 4. OiLSERV too having a good batting lineup, but would want to keep them to the minimum. Akhilesh Bangre, the captain, coming to bowl his last over of the night. He's given away 19 runs of the 3 overs he's bowled. Jatin has got 1 over more. As a shortish ball, Ayaz taking full toll of it, sends it over cow corner for a maximum. Twelve boundaries and 7 maximums in the innings so far, and we're not done yet. 160 for 4. This time, foolish delivery, plays it down towards long on. Fielder doing well to put his body behind the line, saving a certain boundary, and 2 runs added to the total. Applauses all around for Amal, diving to his left and saving a certain boundary, so keeping down to 2 runs. Score moves on to 162. Akhilesh to Ayaz, slowish delivery, full-blooded shot towards deep mid-wicket. Fielder doing the fielding there. Jatin keeping it down to 1. He will be needing to bowl his last over, and OiLSERV will be looking up to him to provide them a couple of breakthroughs. Try to keep the score to as low as possible as Asim takes strike in the night sky. Man at mid-on, long on this time. Very unsure of the whether to go for the catch or save the boundary. Does none and concedes a boundary. Score moves on to 167. Pretty difficult in these conditions, cooler conditions. Difficult to grip the ball. Asim gets his first boundary of his counterpart. This time, chance to free his arm over extra cover for another boundary. So Asim 2 adding on to the carnage as Cummins Arabia racing up to 171. "17 runs scored of the over so far as another leg by, so 18 runs to conclude the 18th over. So Akhilesh, rather expensive over, 4 overs, 36 runs, no wicket. He completes his spell as Subbu comes into bowl the 19th over of the innings. Ayaz batting 10 of 5 with 1 maximum, as Asim Kamar batting 9 of 4 with 2 boundaries. Subbu coming into bowl to Ayaz, rather Asim, plays it towards deep mid-wicket, completing 1 run. Asim happy to give the strike to Ayaz. Must be a definite. So coming towards the last 2 overs of the innings. Score moves on to 173. It's another one in the air, and the fielder doing well to stay behind the line of the ball and keep it down to a single. Wasn't ready to risk that catch and probably let the ball go over the boundary, so some smart thinking. It's a matter of split decision for the fielder out there, as one going over gully, 1 run completed, coming back for the second. Fielder slipping there, allowing the second run to go through. So 176 for 4. Four runs being given away with the 3 balls. No boundaries conceded. Subbu will want to keep it that way as he bowls a wide. And another 2 added to the total. Score moves on to 178. And now under these lights, the ball is coming onto the bat well. The batsman will want to, as this one drifts onto the pad, goes towards short fine for a leg by. Score moves on to 179. 4 balls of the 19th over completed. (7:52 p.m. local time here in Dubai. The match is being played at the Royal Sports Club on the Dubai Al Ain Road. Subbu into Asim. Again, this one over covers. The man at long off running about 20 meters to his left and keeps it down to another couple. So score moves on to 181. The Oil and Gas Premier League Season 1 being sponsored by Bluebell Shipping, Servo Well, the title sponsors. Plays it towards deep mid wicket for a single, wanting to turn back for a second, not to be, so 1 run is what is being added to the total. PFF Valve Fittings, Asco Filtry and Caltros making up the associate sponsors for this event. A big thank you to them for supporting the this quickly 181 last over. As Jatin comes in to bowl the last over, he's been the most economical. He's given away 3 overs, he's given away 13 runs and taken a wicket, apart from the median that he's bowled. Subbu too going about 7 runs and over. He's given away 14 runs of the 2 overs that he bowled. Jatin comes into bowl to Asim. Plays it towards deep mid wicket, completes a single. Score moves on to 182. Jatin bowling to Ayaz. Swing and a miss. Keeper misses that one too. And a boundary. Buys. Cummins Arabia will be happy with the result. Doesn't matter from where they come. They are happy to collect those runs. So 186 of 19.2 overs. And a big uphill task for OiLSERV when they come in to chase down this total. Good piece of bowling by Jatin, but runs going in favor of the batsman there. Ayaz on strike. He's batting 11 of 8. Asim batting 15 of 9. Yes. Foolish delivery. Drills it down to the long on boundary. Jatin had advised his fielder to be slightly more finer, but not to be. And another boundary conceded. Score moves on to 190. You see, foolish delivery. Ayaz just helping it over the bowler's head. No chance for the fielder at long on or long off to cut it off. So, fourth ball of the last over coming up. Up again, over covers. 2 more runs added. Score moves on to 192 with a couple of deliveries to go. Cummins Arabia might want to finish this off at 200. Psychologically could be very beneficial when the team chasing down knows that it has to score more than 220 overs. Now let's see what unfolds. Jatin, a very shrewd bowler, he's given up a boundary so in this over, but this is expected as another ball eluding the keeper. Another boundary conceded, so 196 for 4. Another 4 byes being added to the total. Extras moving up to 31, 11 byes, 16 wides and 4 leg byes as the last ball of the innings comes up. And just 4 shy of a 200 run mark as Jatin just ambling across and trying to think what is the best option he has. He's given away 20 runs in the 3.5 overs he's bowled so far. Would want to ideally finish it off with a wicket. Is that the one? Asking for a caught behind. The umpire says not out. So at the end of 20 overs, 196 for 4 is what Cummins Arabia scored. Let's have a look at the scorecard. Amish Deshpande, the first to go. He was out 5 of 5 with 1 boundary. He was LBW to Jatin. Manish Dipani then retiring for 30 of 26 with 4 balls. Then came the innings of the tournament so far. German Fernandez, 84 of 58, 7 boundaries, 5 maximum. He was out bowled to Amal. Eldos then losing his wicket, 14 of 10 with 1-6. He was bowled by Subbu. And then the late flourish by the captain and Ayaz, scoring 44 of 21 balls amongst them and finishing the score at 196 for 4. As we look at the bowling card, Akhilesh Bangre, 4 overs 36 for no wicket. Jatin, the pick of the bowlers, 4 overs 1 maiden, 20 runs, 1 wicket. Bala Sahib, 2 overs 27 runs, no wicket. Vinit Deshpande, 3 overs 29 runs, no wicket. Amal Leelama, 3 overs 28 runs, 1 wicket. Tanuj Sharma, 2 overs 27 runs, no wicket. And Subbu Parli, 2 overs 14 runs, 1 wicket. Now we look at the fall of wickets. Amit Deshpande out at 1 at the score of 8, 1.1 overs. Manish Dipani, 118, a partnership of 110 being self-broken by Manish as he retired out. Jermaine Fernandez got out when the score was 148. Eldos quickly followed at 152. And then the final bit of flourish by the 2 men, propelling the score to 196. So 197 is what OiLSERV needs in their 20 overs in the final game of the day. And we will be back in action in the next 4 minutes. welcome back as the chase gets underway. 197 is what OiLSERV need to collect another 2 points in this tournament. Up against Cummins Arabia, scored 196 for 4 on the hinges of an 84 by Jermaine Fernandez, who now leads the batting charts with 142 of the 3 games he's batted. Tanuj Sharma taking strike, partnered with Jatin, the left-hander. Elders to ball. The first over. Tanuj Sharma on strike. No slip in place. A man out on third man. And first ball. Quick, pacey, just outside the off stump. Man at shot fine, man at gully. 2 men outside this deep gully and a man at third man. So we'll be trying to keep another beautiful ball. Tanuj playing within himself. Yet to get off the mark of the 2 balls he's faced. Altos come into bowl. Again, another one. Quickish delivery. Tanuj Sharma a trifle bit late. Trying to steer this down to the gully region. Playing with a slightly... standing outside the leg stump probably. Again a swing and a miss. So Elders working up some pace and keeping it quite full. Not allowing any sort of room so far for the batsman. Score remains on 0. Still a long way to go in the game. As OiLSERV will need a couple of big partnerships to hunt the score, as this time plays it off the back foot towards covers for a single. So first runs of the innings. First runs for Tanuj. 1 run of the 5 balls bowled. Last ball of the over coming up, and there's a left-right combination prompting a few of the fielders to be moving left to right, as Walid is being shuffled from third man to third man. Could again be dampening sometimes when you are chasing, when you are setting fields. Manish, the wicketkeeper, doing the duties as well on behalf of Asim, making sure the right people are in the right positions. As we see, coming from round the wicket to Jatin, makes him play on the back foot. So end of the first over, a pretty quiet one. 1 run coming off it. Tanuj Sharma getting off the mark of the 5th ball, and Jatin playing the lone ball. As we have a look around the ground, and you can see that there is a bit of dampness on the field, so the ball could start getting wet as and when the game progresses. The bowlers will have to try to keep the ball dry as much as possible. Could work in the advantage of the OiLSERV batsman as the second over starts up. As Ahmed partnering Eldos, sharing the new ball with him. Comes to ball to Tanuj Sharma. Full-blooded drive towards covers the man at long off coming in and keeping it down to a single. Left-hander on strike. Again, the field set would start to be changed. The man at short mid-wicket now goes over to deep cover. And the man, couple of men on the offside have now turned over towards the other side of the field. As Walid again has to move from third man to the other side of the third man. As a field being changed, the man at Gully moved a bit squarer, man from extra cover being brought in. Plays it towards the man at Gully, can't stop the single, so another run added to the total as field needs to be changed again. As Ayaz into ball to Tanuj. 3 runs on the board. 2 to Tanuj, 1 to then as a beautiful stroke down the ground. The man at long off comes in and keeps it down to a single. So another run. And as we see Walid again changing ends. Another single as we have a quick chat with Walid. Walid, are you going to count all these runs in your score? You've been moving fine like to third man to third man.
It indeed is tiring.
And are these going to be added to your total?
I think they should be adding it.
As another single and Walid has to go on to the other side of the... it's quite entertaining out here when you have a right and left combination. The fielders have to move around, need to know their positions, need to be at the right places. It's a tall score that OiLSERV is chasing down. They have scored 4 runs so far. Make that 5 after that single from Jatin. As Ayaz comes into ball to down the leg side, a wide. Good take by Manish, the keeper, on the left side. It's quite energy sapping when you have to run around 30-35 meters either side. As Ayaz comes into ball to Tanuj. This time on the other side and another wide, so it moves on to 7. So we're in the power play, 1.4 overs completed, score 7. Only 2 men allowed the ring, outside the ring. It's a man at third man and a man at long off. This one, inner edge towards fine leg. The ball racing towards the fine leg boundary. Soumya unable to cut that off. So the first boundary of the innings. And inner edge towards the boundary. Score moves on to 11. For the loss of no wicket. 11 for the loss of no wicket. That's the last ball of the over coming up. In the air towards long off. 1 run to the total, so expensive over comes to an end. 11 runs coming off it. Jatin batting 2 of 3, Tanuj batting 8 of 9 with 1 boundary, 12 for the loss of no wicket in 2 overs, requiring another 185 of the remaining 108 balls. So we have a quick update on the India-England women's T20 game that's being played in South Africa. England winning by a margin of 11 runs, handing India their first defeat of the tournament. So England stay on top of the group. As the next game between South Africa and Australia, which is got to be pretty crucial to South Africa's. And as Tanuj plays this towards Gully and takes off for a single, so score moves on to 13. Australia already qualifying with 3 wins on the trot, so does England. Score moves on to 13. Jatin on strike. He's batting 2 of 3. Tanuj Sharma being the aggressor and taking most of the strike in the power play so far. Eldos has given away 1 run in the first over that he had bowled with some good zest and kept the ball up. Eldos into Jatin. Hits him high on the pad and goes towards third man. Walid, the fielder there, throws it back to the keeper. So 1 leg bye to the total. Score moves on to 14. Man, a deep point. Onto the pass, straight to Soumya, but well fielded there, keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 15. Short ball outside off stump. Jatin trying to chase that one. Wide added to the total. Score moves on to 16. Eldos into Jatin. Is that a chance? Is that a chance? And yes, it is. Manish Dipani takes the catch. Jatin was not comfortable at the crease today, was not able to find his rhythm, and his short stay comes to an end. He is out 2 of the 5 balls he's faced. He's caught Manish Dipani and of the bowling of Eldos, who's in between a good spell as of now. So more so, they would be happy to see of Jatin because he was a left-hander and the one who stayed the crease, prompting a lot of field changes. Tournament being scored on the Crick Heroes app, and pictures being brought to you by ASL Live. Experience the live moments as Subbu comes in at number 3, the right-hander. Subbu taking strike to Eldos. Slightly short. Plays it back to the bowler. He needs to choose his length as he plays this one straight towards covers. A slight misfield there allows the single. Score moves on to 17 at the end of 3 overs. So a successful over coming to close. 4 runs coming off it. Eldo's 2 overs, 5 runs for the wicket that he took of Jatin, who was caught by Manish Dipani. So Asim Kamar comes into bowl. He is the first change bowler. As Ahmed given a break after the 1 over. Subbu bowls it short. Subbu plays it towards deep mid wicket. Collects another couple. Score moves on to 19. Asim to Subbu. Foolish delivery, plays it towards short mid wicket and takes off for a single. Amit Deshpande doing the fielding there. Score moves on to 20. The run rate now creeping up to 10.62. They needed 9.97 when they started this inning, so already they behind the 8 ball as of now as Tanuj takes strike, sends it towards point. Chance of a run out at the bowler's end. A wild throw in the end. No run whatsoever. She have a brief hold in play. Just need to check whether he's in any kind of discomfort. No. Score remains on 20. Asim coming to bowl to Tanuj. Plays on the back foot. This time sets off for a single. A late response by Subbu, but still well in time to complete the single. Score moves on to 21. Asim into bowl to Subbu. This time down the leg side will be called wide. Manish doing well to stop that one. Score moves on to 22. This is the fourth over. Cummins Arabia are managing to keep a hold on the proceedings as it's 8:37 local time. Subbu playing a bit too early for that. The ball keeping low and going one bounce to the keeper. Time plays it towards covers again for a single. So at the end of 4 overs, 23 for the loss of 1 wicket, needing another 174 of 96 balls. Required run rate going up to 10.88. As you see, supporters, little kids playing around the park, be it any sport, be it football or cricket. It's what matters is that they are at the park and burning up their energy. It's quite happy to see that. Two little girls playing across, so just adds up to the value of the tournament. So expect your supporters and families to come forward and support you and engage in yourself into any kind of sport. As Ayaz comes into bowl the fifth over, off the pads towards short fine. Soumya doing well to keep it down to a single leg by. Score moves on to 24. So man at short fine being kept busy. Saved a couple of balls going towards the boundary. Score moves on to 24. As Tanuj plays it back towards the bowler, taking a couple of paces down to score a quick run, but not to be. I asked to Tanuj. Down the leg side, way down the leg side, to be asking for an LBW. Man at point coming in and throwing it well over the keeper's head. Actually, no run being scored. Another leg by added to the total. Score moves on to 25. So we look at the scorecard of the first innings where Cummins Arabia, rather OiLSERV, giving away 16 wides and 11 byes in that extras of 31 as Subbu plays this one towards third man. Walid moving to his right and keeps it down to a single again. Score moves on to 26. The Oil and Gas Premier League Season 1 being played here at the Royal Sports Grounds, Eagle Sports Grounds on the Dubai Al-Ain Road, quite adjacent. As Tanuj plays another one towards point and sets off for a quick single. Score moves on to 27 as we come into the last ball of the fifth over. This is the power play. This tournament being mainly sponsored by Servowell and Bluebell Shipping. Associate sponsors PFF Valve Fittings, Astro, and we'll get their names right again. Another dot ball to end the fifth over of the innings. Associate sponsors PFF Valve Fittings, Asco Filtry and Caltros. Sponsors for this tournament apart from Bluebell Shipping and Servowell, who are the main sponsors of this tournament. coming towards the last over of power play where the field restrictions will be taken off. We see Soumya coming off the field. Jermaine Fernandez rejoins the squad in the park. Asim Kamar to continue. He gave away 6 runs of the 1 over that he's bowled so far. Asim, full toss, plays it towards deep mid wicket. The man at long on coming in towards there and keeping it down to 2. Score moves on to 29. He did 170 at the start of this over of 90 balls. 2 runs taken off. It's 168 of 89. Current run rate of 5.61. Required run rate is more than double of what they've scored. So 11.33 is what the required run rate is. Only the one boundary coming off the innings so far of the blade of Tanuj Sharma as he plays it towards point, and a good catch being taken. So Tanuj Sharma perishes in trying to maximize the last over of power play. He's out for 14 of 18 balls with 1 boundary. So Asim Kamar, the captain, amongst the wickets. He gets his first wicket of the night. Relatively easy catch for the man at point who makes no mistake there. As we have a wait on the update of the score to see who the fielder was. So partnership of 13 comes to an end. Out taken by Imtiazur Rahman. Amal Leelama, the new man, coming in at number 4. The fall of Tanuj Sharma's wicket, trying to get a waft of the line, and bowls are wide. Manish Deepani doing well. The ball staying low, diving to his right. So score moves on to 30. Cummins Arabia keeping a total tight lid on the proceedings as Amal moves, shuffles around to his right and loses his leg stump. So the third casualty for OiLSERV riders when Amal out for no score, coming in line of the ball, wanting to play towards short fine, and unluckily for him he misses and it cannons onto the stump. So 30 for 3. Both these teams having 4 points from the 2 games that they have played so far. Cummins Arabia at the moment leading the proceedings. Asim Kamar 1.3 overs, 9 runs and 2 wickets as Nilesh Jariwala comes to the crease, batting at number 5. Oil and Gas Premier League for the oil and gas industry corporates. a social event. As Asim now working up a bit of pace and settling into a good rhythm, would want to complete the over on a very good note. He's already got, of the 4 balls he's bowled, he's got 2 wickets. He got Tanuj Sharma caught at point by Imtiaz and then followed it up with Amal by bowling him this time, bowling a foolish delivery. Nilesh playing it back to the bowler. No run added there. Score moves on to 30. The last ball of power play coming up. For 3. Again, a late bit of attempt by Nilesh, but being called a wide, so Asim will have to re-bowl that one. Score 31 for 3. Needing another 166 runs of 85 balls. Required run rate creeping up to 11.72. Again, coming line of the ball. Lucky for him, he had put his bat, else could have been dangerous. So end of power play. Score 31 for 3. As we have a look at the scorecard, the men out, Jatin was the first to go. He was out on 2 of 5 balls. Caught Manish Dipani bowled Eldos at the score of 16, followed by Tanuj Sharma, who was out 14 of 18 balls with 1 boundary. He was caught by Imtiaz of the bowling of Asim, and the score was 29. Followed up with Amal, who was out first ball, bowled by Asim Kamar, and the score was 30. So Subbu is batting 6 of 9 and Nilesh Zariwala batting none of 3. Partnership of 1 of 3 balls, chasing 197. Current run rate of 5.17. Required run rate now creeping up to 11.86. The medium pace being continued. Bowling analysis so far. Eldos 2 overs 5 runs, 1 wicket. Ayaz 2 overs 13 runs, no wicket. And Asim Kamar 2 overs 10 runs, 2 wickets. Sharing the spoil so far as Ayaz comes into bowl his 3rd over, 7th of the innings. Is that a caught behind? No, says the umpire. Beating Subbu, all hands up there. Basically cutting him into half out there, but no nick whatsoever. So score remains on 31. Ayaz to Subbu. This time chancing his arm, trying to send this ball towards the mid-wicket region. Manages to send it down to long on for a single. Score moves on to 32. Good bit of bowling by Cummins Arabia. Just keeping it short of length, not keeping it right up to the batsman, and the batsman getting any sort of width or room to play that. Again, keeping it short of length. Nilesh playing it down towards back to the bowler. Score remains on 32. As we quickly see the required run rate now creeping up to 12.22. Beautiful shot towards covers. The man at extra cover going about 30 meters to his right. Can't stop the 2 with a lot more is required from Nilesh from out here and Subbu. They've already seen 3 of the men go back into the hut. Not much of a partnership strung as Nilesh now going back and forth, trying to cut this one at the last moment, being cramped for room there. He's much better off playing the one down the ground or in the cover region rather than playing towards point. So ball's not being bowled that short. Kane playing with his foot across, cramping himself for room, probably trying to eye the mid-wicket region. So at end of 7 overs, 35 for 3, current run rate of 5 runs and over. Required run rate now 12.46. As Jermaine Fernandez comes into bowl for the first time. Jermaine Fernandez scoring 84 earlier in the evening with the help of 7 boundaries and 5 sixes. Jermaine Fernandez bowling to Nilesh. Plays it towards point. The man on boundary rider doing the fielding. Again, another indecision by both the batsmen, not seeing eye to eye, and no clear-cut communication. Keeps it down to a single, 36 for 3. Subbu facing Jermaine. Tossed up delivery, plays it back towards the bowler. A slight misfield there. Amit Deshpande running in towards mid-off and doing the covering up. 1 run added to the total score. Moves on to 37. Ball staying low. Manish unable to collect that. So a bye added to the total. Sorry, wides being called. So 1 run for 2 runs added to the total score. Moves on to 39. 7.2 overs completed. Right arm leg break. Leg break bowlers or rhythmatic bowlers need to settle in a good line or rhythm. As Subbu comes in, comes down the track. Jermaine altering his length there, shortening it up a bit. Not giving him the length that Subbu was looking for. Cramped him up for room. Score remains on 39. Plays it down towards long off. The man there doing the fielding keeps it down to a single. Shouts of catch it by the bowler, but not the distance that he would have wanted the batsman to play that shot. Score moves on to 40 as we're coming towards the 5th ball of the 8th over. Slightly short, plays it towards covers. A easy single. Cummins Arabia wouldn't mind those singles being given away as the run rate is now creeping towards the 13 mark. It's already reached 12.82 as the last ball of the 8th over coming up. Tossed up delivery, plays it towards short square, single being taken, 41 for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of 8 overs. Needing another 155 of the 72 balls. As OiLSERV searching for that momentum, is not able to get any of the 8 overs. Probably this break could help them, and somebody comes up with a definitive answer to chase down this score. Change in the bowling. Mohammad Mubashir, the new bowler. Jermaine Fernandez giving 7 runs away of the first over that he had bowled. Quite economical considering the context of the game that we are in right now. She starts off with the dot ball. Subbu on strike is 10 of 16 and Nilesh batting 5 of 9 as Mubashir, slow medium pace, plays this one towards extra covers, 1 run added, should come back for the 2 quite comfortably. So another 2 runs added to the total. So 1 boundary in the 8 overs, 8.2 overs that have been bowled so far, which speaks volumes of the way Cummins Arabia has bowled tonight. Bowled with a plan, bowled up to the fielders that have been chasing as another one square. Subbu up. Just unable to find any kind of momentum in their batting. Wide outside of the Manish, 100 take. Score moves on to 45. Another one outside off stump. The plan is to bowl outside the off stump and invite the batsman to play with. Not much help from the wicket for the batsman. The ball's tending to keep low and they're not trying to give any sort of pace to the batsman. This one down leg side, another wide to the total. Mubashir to Subbu. Another wide this time, unable to control this one. So extras now just about helping the cause. But is it still good enough to chase down the score? Only time will tell. It's 47 for 3, 14 extras, 11 wides and 3 leg byes. Subbu plays this back to the bowler. It's coming to the close of the 9th over. Last ball coming up 47 for 3. This time plays it towards long on. 1 bounce towards the fielder. So 1 run added. It's the end of 9 overs. 48 for the loss of 3 wickets. 6 runs coming off the 1 over bowled by German. Fernandez comes into bowl his second over, the 10th of the innings. As you could change ends after the end of this over. Tossed up delivery, edges this one, I guess. Ball racing towards the fine leg boundary. Somya coming far and across. Keeps it down to 2. Now we need to see whether that's been called a wide. So 3 runs added to the total. 50 coming up. The start of the 10th over. 9.6, 8.6 overs completed. And German comes into bowl. This time keeping Subbu quiet. Tossed up delivery. Chance of a dismissal. Replay chala hai. Replay chala hai. And the next ball coming up immediately. Okay. Third ball of the 10th over coming up. Tossed up delivery. Taking Nilesh on the nearly taking Nilesh down. So the second boundary of the innings. Score moves on to 55. Moves on to 17 of 24. Score moves on to 55. Again, this time leg break on middle and leg, turning it away. Subbu just rocking back and playing it back to the bowler. It's more better off if he comes down the wicket and tries to unsettle him. And this time is bowled neck and crock in no man's land. And this is what Jermaine was trying for last few deliveries. Conceded a boundary, but this time a beautiful leg break. Beats him, all ends up, and end of Subbu's innings. A scratchy innings comes to an end. 17 of 26, never got any sort of momentum for his side. OiLSERV will have to rethink their thought process when they are chasing down a huge total. They need somebody to take those earlier risks and put Cummins Arabia under pressure, but not to be. And Jermaine Fernandez finally in the wickets column, 1.5 overs, 14 runs and 1 wicket. Nilesh Jariwala batting with 5 of 9. As Akhilesh Bangre, the captain, coming to the centre to face the last ball of the 10th over. Full toss, trying a bit too hard, sending the ball down to deep square leg for a single. So the halfway stage, 56 for 4, needing another 41 runs of the remaining 60 balls. Required run rate 14.10. As drinks come onto the field. second half of the innings commences. Achilles turns one down towards square leg for a single, waiting for the umpire signal for a leg by or bat it. It's been considered as bat, so 57 for 4. Mubashir asking for an LBW. So 2 runs added to the total. Score moves on to 59 as Mohammad Mubashir comes into bowl. Nearly chops onto the stump. There's a chase getting difficult with every ball being bowled by Cummins Arabia. Comes down the track, hits on the pad, but down leg side, so leg by added to the total. It's not going to affect Cummins Arabia one bit, as they would want to finish this game as quickly as possible with the least runs possible. Fireman outside the ring, and as Akhilesh plays it towards point, wanting a single. Again, miscommunication there. Akhilesh wanting the single. Nilesh taking a couple of steps, but then backing out. Luckily for Akhilesh, no, the throw wasn't up to the mark. Score remains on 60. Cummins Arabia bowling as slow as possible. No, as Akhilesh plays this towards short mid-wicket. 1 run added. Mubashir running to his right to field the ball of his own bowling. 61 for 4 at the end of 11 overs. As Walid Ilyas, the new bowler, replacing Jermaine Fernandez. Bowled the first ball and bowls a dot ball. As Akhilesh on strike. Plays this towards deep mid-wicket for a single. Score moves on to 62. Nilesh taking strike. He's batting 7 of 12. Tossed up delivery, plays it a bit late. Score remains on 62. So 2 boundaries in the 11.4 overs bowled so far. Is certainly not helping. Full toss being called on. Let's see what happened. And he's been given. As we look at the replay as to what happened exactly. Walid bowls a high full toss, and he's been and the looks like the ball has hit his arm and gone onto the stumps. So we trying to look at conclusive evidence as to what happened exactly. Let's have a look. Full toss. So you look at the scorecard as to what is being given. He's been called bowled, so probably must have brushed some part of his body and gone on to hit the stump. So 11.4 over 62 for 5. वो भी तो पहले भी तो आउट हुआ पिछले वाली गेम में, वो भी तो ऐसा होता है रविशंकर ऐसे वाली गेम पे। वो अगर नो बॉल बोल्ड है ना, बॉल्ड विकेट पे गिरी है ना। As Vineet Deshpande comes into bat, trying to get some momentum. Vineet, a very busy player. Let's see what he comes up with. Plays with not much foot movement. Last ball of the 12th over. Flighted delivery, plays it back to the bowler. So a single and a wicket for Walid in his first over. 62 for 5 at the end of 12 overs. Required run rate now is creeping up to 16.88 as Soumya comes into bowl. .62 for 5. 9:15 local time here in Dubai at the Eagle Sports Club here on the Dubai Al Ain Road. Akhilesh on strike. Soumya the bowler. Tossed up delivery, plays it towards short fine for a single. Akhilesh might consider himself unlucky, could have done better than that, managing to get a single. Vineet on strike. Vineet plays it down, back to the bowler, no run there. Vineet yet to get off the mark of the 3 balls he's faced. Akhilesh batting 3 of 7 balls. Vineet plays it over the bowler's head for a single. He's off mark. Score moves on to 64. Akhilesh plays it towards third man, the man at gully running around to his left and fielding the ball. Score moves on to 65. As bowlers finding it a bit difficult to grip, but as of now, Cummins have a total grip on the proceeding. As Vineet plays his first intent shot and plays it towards long off for a single. Score moves on to 65. rather 66 with that single. Last ball of the over coming up. Akhilesh plays it down the ground. Score moves on to 67. End of the 13th over. 67 for 5. Akhilesh batting 6 of 9. Vinny Deshpande 2 of 5. Partnership of 5 of 8 balls. Chasing 197. Last 5 overs, 25 runs and 2 wickets have been taken. Asif Saeed comes into bowl. Asif is the 8th bowler being used. Four men inside the ring, the man at behind square, short mid wicket. Man at covers and point as Akhilesh plays one down towards third man. Score moves on to 68. Cummins Arabia, a well all-rounded team with a lot of them who can bat and bowl for the side. Asif comes into bowl, wraps Vineet on the pads, but being called a leg by. Score moves on to 69. 60. Chance is playing too close to the body, trying to run this down to third man. Score remains on 69. 13.3. Chance of a caught behind. Edge drop है क्या देखो मैं नीचे स्क्रॉल कर देख रहा था Asif bowling to Akhilesh. Wraps him on the pads. No run being taken there. 3 consecutive dot balls. Innings has not been able to take off at any point of time. And Cummins Arabia running through their overs quick and fast. Akhilesh taking strike for the last ball. Plays it towards gully. The fielder unable to stop that. 1 run being added. Coming back for the second. So the end of 14 overs, 71 for 5. Another 126 runs required to the remaining 6 overs. Required run rate is 21. So they practically need a boundary of every ball. And at the moment are looking totally clueless how to go about trying to chase down this total. As Imtiazur Rahman, the 9th bowler being used, starts off with a wide. Yes, even the wides would just not add up enough to, if OiLSERV have to chase down the score. They're on top of the table as of now, but running into a side who's well equipped in all departments of the game, the fielding, the bowling, as well as the batting. Luxury of having more than 9 to 10 bowlers in your 11. Score moves on to 73. Chip towards mid-on for another single. Score moves on to 74. It's the 15th over in progress. Vinny plays this towards mid-on rather. The man at long on, halfway in, fields the ball, keeps it down to a single. 75 coming up. Not so happy faces in the OiLSERV dugout as of now, as another full toss plays this over the man at long off, and a rare boundary. First boundary for Akhilesh, the third boundary of the innings coming in the 15th over. With both the men on the long on and long off boundaries halfway in. Weren't able to cut this off, so one boundary added to the total. 3 boundaries in the inning so far, as another wide being bowled. As Manish finding it difficult to latch onto that, keeps it down to another wide. So 2 wides added to the total. Score moves on to 81. 81 of 14.4. Goes way behind the mark. Vinny this time rocks back and plays it towards long off for another single. So last ball of the 15th over coming up. At the end of the 15th over. So end of 15 overs, 83 for the loss of. Yasir Mehboob, the new bowler. Vinny plays this through covers. Ball racing towards the cover boundary for another 4 runs. So a late bit of flourish starting to come in for the OiLSERV batting. Another boundary coming in the 2 overs. So fourth boundary of the innings in the 16th over. Yasir Mahmood conceded a rare boundary. Vineet on strike. This one bowls down leg side, wanting to cramp the batsman for room, but Ayerson bowling down the leg stump, so he gives another run. 89 for 5. As Vineet plays this back towards the bowler. Yasir Mahmood, lucky that it hit his boot and not any other part of the leg, could be dangerous. It's better off leaving the ball rather than fielding such ones, as Akhilesh plays all over this one and loses his stump. So he's out for 16 of 19 balls with one boundary. So $90 for the loss of 6 wickets. 15.4 overs remaining, 26 balls. Required run rate jumping to 24.69. This is game number 9 of the Oil and Gas Premier League Season 1. As all the teams would have completed the third game at the end of this game. A win here for Cummins Arabia takes them to the top of the table with 6 points from 3 games. We need to see where does OiLSERV stand after this loss. With the margin being high, could bring them down to 3rd position, as new man Kapil plays this towards the deep gully region for another couple of runs. Score moves on to 92. Last ball of the 16th over coming up. Tapped on the pads. A gentle bit of appeal by the bowler, not given by the umpire. So the end of 16 overs. Yasir Mehboob giving away 9 runs and taking 1 wicket, as Soumya comes into bowl his 2nd over. So 10 bowlers being used by Cummins Arabia. As Soumya comes into bowl the 17th over of the innings. He's bowling to Vineet. Full toss. Misses that one. Plays towards square leg for a single. Score moves on to 93. Looping delivery. Couple plays it down to short mid wicket for a single. Score moves on to 94. Vineet plays it in the air. The man hit long off, trying a one-hander, but parries the ball over the boundary for a maximum, the first maximum. Score moves on to 100. Comes in the 17th over of the innings. As you see, the fielder, no intent, no attempt whatsoever of total convictions, and concedes a 6. Would have been well off had he stayed on the boundary line, could have got a catch, but this time helps the cause and concedes a maximum. Soumya might consider himself unlucky, as Vineet plays another one towards mid-wicket, the man, square leg rather. 1 bounce, 1 run added. Now coming back, quickly coming back for the 2nd, wanting to keep strike and trying to maximize the remaining overs on hand. Score moves on to 102 of 16.4 overs. It only remains to be seen as to how much OiLSERV can end up at the end of this innings. It all depends on Vineet, who can play a few lofted shots, as another Full toss, plays it towards mid-wicket for another 6. So score moves on to 108. Vinith moves on to 25 or 15 with 1 boundary and 2 sixes. Innings never taking off. It's the last ball of the 17th over coming up. Let's see what Vinith has. Does he want to go over the top or does he want to take strike? Plays it down the ground for a single. A sensible thing to do. Score moves on to 109. Another 88 runs required of the remaining 18 balls. Required run rate of 29.33. Current run rate of 6.41. The only good thing that has happened in the last few overs is the current run rate has shot up from 5.5 to 6.41. But at the same time, the required run rate also has crept up to 29.33. Vinith batting 26 of 16. Only little flourish that can be seen in the innings. Soumya going for 22 runs in the 2 overs that he's bowled. But considering the overall performance, Cummins Arabia would not be too bothered about it as Walid comes in to bowl his second over, the 18th of the innings. He's given away 1 run. Vinith on strike. This time through point. So 2 runs being taken, right, the ball being at the edge of the circle. Man at point, dropping that one, coming straight into his hands and out of it. So score moves on to 111 as Walid bowls to Vinith. Vinith plays it down the ground for a single. Score moves on to 112. All Kapil needs to do now is trying to give the strike back to Vinith, who has played a few shots. Could help their cause and try to minimize the defeat that is staring down their eyes. As he plays one, Walid misses that one. So the job done so far. Takes a single and goes down to the non-striker's end, giving the strike to Vinith. Score moves on to 113. A little more intent or an initiative could have brought the score up to 130, 140 by now. But as Vinith plays another full-blooded shot towards deep mid-wicket, 1 run taken. Score moves on to 114. As Walid bowling to Kapil. Plays it towards covers, completes 1, comes back for the second. Score moves on to 116. The current partnership of 26 of 13, a bit too late for OiLSERV. Cummins Arabia wouldn't mind that. They will want to wrap this game up at the earliest. As Walid bowls to Kapil, full toss, misses that one. Luckily for him, doesn't crash into the stumps. So end of 18 overs, 116 for 6, needing another 81 remaining of the remaining 12 balls. We need Deshpande, the lone batter, to touch the 30 mark. Not much support from any of the other batsmen. Tanuj Sharma out 14 of 18 balls with 1 boundary. Jatin 2 overs 5 runs. Subbu Parli 17 of 26 with 1 boundary. Amal not out for no score of 1 ball. Nilesh Jariwala 7 of 14. Akhilesh out 16 of 19. As Asif Saeed comes in to bowl the penultimate over of the innings, his second and last for the night. As Asif said, balls to Vineet. He plays it down towards long off. Completes one, wants the second. A slight misfield. Comfortable two added to the total. Score moves on to 118. Is that a run being scored is what we'll see. The umpire deems it as a leg by. So Asif built to Kapil. Beautiful Yorker ball. Back to the bowler. Bowler completing the fielding of his own bowling. Keeps the score to 119. So last remaining 9 balls of the innings. As Asif bowls another wide. Score moves on to 120. Partnership worth 30 or 17. As Asif comes into bowl to asking for an LBW, maybe going down leg side.
अंपायर साहब या आपके साथ जाएंगे वो
121 for 6 as Vineet on strike. Being called a wide, trying to bowl it outside the hitting zone of Vineet. 122. Vineet plays it onto his pad. One leg by given. Score moves on to 123. It's the last ball of the 19th over coming up. Asif has given away 8 runs of the 1.5 overs he's bowled so far. As Kapil plays this one towards long on, the fielder doing the fielding, keeping down to a single, wanting the second run. Eldos a flat throw towards the keeper. So 19 overs completed, 124 for 6, needing another 73 runs of the remaining 6 balls. As Kapil on strike, he is batting 8 of 9. Nitesh Pandey on 32 of 22. As Kapil, lucky for him, the ball kissing the inner half of the bat and going down to fine leg. So another 2 runs added. Score moves on to 126. Brushing the pad and going towards the keeper. No run there. Score remains on 126. As this time plays it towards the boundary, just inside the boundary, or is it a boundary? Let's wait for the umpire's signal. So another 2 runs added to the total, 128 for 6. So last 3 balls of the game coming up. Bowls another wide, so score moves on to 129. Extras in the innings, 29. Kapil plays it in the air. Eldos coming down from long on towards the wide long on. So the fielding, 2 more balls to go. Vineet taking strike. 130 is what the score is Let's see, the last 2 overs is what sort of a shot is Vineet going to play. Plays it towards long on for a single. 131 as the final ball of the innings comes up. Plays it towards of a boundary to end the game, to conclude at 135. So a 61-run victory for Cummins Arabia. OiLSERV response being 135 for 6 compared to the 196 for 4 that Cummins Arabia had scored. So we will quickly have the presentations in a few moments as Cummins Arabia with this win go on top of the table. Let's quickly have a look at the leaderboard. Cummins Arabia with this win go on top of the table, and OiLSERV now are on third position after this loss. 2 wins and a loss with a net run rate of .633. So their next game against Petrofac could be quite interesting. As we have the presentations coming up in the next few minutes. Player of the match लेके आ जाओ. Vineet. आसिम भाई runs and going on top of the table with 3 wins from 3 games. MVP of the game, Jermaine Fernandez, collecting his second man of the match for this season from Amit Deshpande, MD Cummins Arabia. After that brilliant 84 and the wicket that he had taken. Quick word with Jermaine. Jermaine, you started off very slowly. You had 1 run of 12 balls, and then suddenly you just teed off after that boundary. What was your thought process when you were not striking the ball as well as you started the innings?
Well, I knew that I could capitalize later. So my style of play is to assess the pitch first, to see how the ball, how it's moving around. I knew that Jatin was bowling well, so I just decided to play him off and target the other bowlers. The pitch was coming on, but not that well, you know. So I had to play it first 10, 12 balls. That's my style of play, and I knew I can capitalize because the previous match also I started slow and then capitalized later. So I did the same today.
And which side of the wicket do you like? Because you started scoring more on this side as the ball was going flying past towards the commentary box. To be honest, we had a chat. We were saying we probably need to bring our helmets on if German is going to go down this way.
Well, it depends on the line of the ball, but I favor the onside and the straight shot because I know that I can back myself with the power, and if I get the ball on the up or under my bat, I can go for it anyway.
Lucky for us, we are on the offside as of now. Thank you, Jermaine, for it, and congratulations for that. We quickly talk to Akhilesh. Akhilesh, bad day at the office. I can say run into a rampant Jermaine who suddenly started seeing the ball and sending the ball all sides of the park.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, German played really well. Actually, the way he started, we thought, okay, we'll make this game in control. But later, the way German and other guys, the pace of the innings after 10 overs, that's tremendous. It's very good. Actually, the batting we could see here. We failed in all the departments. Like we started well in bowling, but then in the batting also we failed a lot. In the fielding also, a couple of drop catches made the thing worst actually. So yeah, it's a bad day for us. So
Did you keep account of the number of catches that were dropped tonight?
I have the numbers. We have dropped the 7 catches here, and and most of them are from the German and all other good players. So we could have capitalized if we got those catches in actually.
Now a bit of a headache for you. You were on top of the table before this game and now come down to third position. You're behind Petrofac. They're on 0.883 run rate. Y'all are at 0.633. I'm sure you must be trying to address these concerns because your next big game comes up against Petrofac the next week.
Yeah, that's true actually. Now we have to play really well because now the 2 games left and we'll try to win both of the matches. Then only we will be into the finals actually. So that's the way, and we'll think over it how to plan for both the teams, and then we'll come back stronger.
Thank you for your time and all the best for the rest of the tournament. And we have got Asim, the winning captain. Asim, overall performance, talk us about the luxury you have. You bowled 10 bowlers in this game. You had more bowlers bowling tonight than your batsmen. Quite happy with this sort of a situation to be in?
Yeah, I think overall we scored a very good total of 190 plus, and in the start, first 6-7 overs went very well. So that's the reason we had a bit of control on the match. So that's the reason we tried our all of the bowlers, because in the next 2 matches we will see that to give the opportunity to others as well, and get everyone ready for the final. So that's the main reason that we the main bowlers just bowled 2 overs. And then we tried the other bowlers, and they also had a good practice today.
And what's your assessment? I mean, happy with the overall performance. Have they responded well to what you all are, apart from a couple of sixes which Soumya went for, which can happen in such a game. But overall, happy with the response by the bowlers who have stepped up tonight?
Yeah, I think overall the 3-4 bowlers that we have tried, they bowled very well. So we see that I think in the coming up matches also we can take a risk and we can give an opportunity to them.
Thank you for that, and that concludes our presentation. Cummins Arabia 61 runs win brings them on top of the table with 3 games, 3 wins. Petrofac and now OiLSERV will now be trying to vying for that second position. We'll come back next week again with another triple header. Until then, be safe and we will see you again. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.